welcome to episode 146 of the Knitting Samurai and Her Guys video podcast. I'm your host, Steph, also known as the Knitting Samurai. I hope my glasses aren't reflecting, number one, and number two, I hope it's bright enough in here for you this evening. I normally don't record at night. That's not my ideal time. I am a morning person and I tend to wind down as the day goes down, but I had it on my agenda for us to sit and talk today, and the day got away from me. And so just thought I would take a few minutes and catch up right now. So it's probably going to be a relatively quick show, but worth touching base and catching you up on what's going on with us. So should we start with knitting and then go into life stuff? All right, so first up, the Christmas ornaments. So I did give them out at Thanksgiving. They were a massive success. And I tell you, I feel like I've been knitting Santas till my eyes bleed. So I'm now working on the ones for the boys' teachers, because those need to be finished before the ones for my coworkers do, because we'll do probably the week before, we'll do one day during the week, and I'll bring in all the goodie bags. I did buy some Olive Garden gift certificates, and I'm trying to think, I bought like 3 different stores so I can put a couple together, so it's still like a $20 value for the teachers, and then I'll give them each one of these cute little ornaments. So I did get some leather wire. I think I talked about this last time. Not wire, leather cord. I need to get a little bit more. And I have various sizes of bells. The 2 I grabbed have the same size bells. I tend to like, the little ones don't sound, like this one doesn't even jingle at all. Don't make as much of a ringing noise as the large ones, but these tend to suit the size of my finished objects a bit better. So let me tell you, this is the Ho 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 Christmas ornament pattern by Mary Triplet. I am using fingering weight yarn on US size 0s, 2mm needles. Not sure what it calls for, but that's what I wanted to knit them on, because I wanted to make sure they were nice and small, you know, more ornament size. I've messed up the pattern a few times, so some have longer hats and some have longer beards, but they're all unique and cute in their own way. I did get the yarn I ordered from Knit Picks in, and I've been working on some of that. So this is their sparkle yarn, so I've switched to using this, and I currently have, because this is my preferred method, 2 at a time going right here. So the Santa with, so this is the double pointed beard, right? He doesn't have his mustache on yet. Linus, please do not jump in front of the camera. But he listened. He knows the voice, so sorry to... Anyway, so there's the double pointed beard, and then this is the straight beard, and then these will be the ones where the beard goes out. It's fat around like here, and then it gets narrow for the rest of his face. Yes, Cat, please use the scratch post right now. So that's what those 2 will be. So I'm doing that. This is some palette and some sort of red color. Oh gosh, I can't remember. Anyways, the palette color is great. This is palette blush, which is a great skin tone color. The sparkling white is Stroll Glimmer in white. And then I also got, I think it's pomegranate in the Stroll Glimmer, and that is not a true red the way this one is, like not your Santa red, more like the crushed velvet red that I think of for Christmas, which is fine, but I prefer the red. So I'm going to use some of this for a few of them. I haven't made any with it yet, because I do want to use the sparkle yarn. I think that's fun. I have some peach yarn that's leftovers that I had that I used a few on, or used for a few. So, and that's all in my Grinch bag, which is by Stitch by Jessalou. It's my holiday knitting bag, and that's been a labor of love. So I'm gonna stand up for a sec. I have completed 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those 2 are 8 and 9 in progress for teachers, so that's more than enough for teachers. So I think I'm going to take, since we're 3 weeks from Christmas, I think I'm going to take another week break. I took a week between the first round for the family and the teachers. Take a break, no knitting Santas, and then kind of regroup myself and then make a big push for the rest, which is for coworkers and then some friends that I want to give it to. So, who knew knitting Santas was so exciting? I love the little curls. Roland has insisted he gets a Santa. Which Santa's his? The seed beads I'm using, I used 2 different sizes, and I ended up strongly preferring, here's my bag of things that I need. So I have red pipe cleaner pieces, white pipe cleaner pieces, all the bells, the tube of beads. This is the jewelry design leather cord I've been using. I have a chippy in here, pair of scissors, and I know, very classy with my plastic bag, but it works. A needle threader that I'm using to thread the, what size beads are they? Does it say? I don't know how to read beads. Glass E.8E ADS beads. Anyways, so I string one of these on here, and then I string it onto the yarn. I knit with the loop that's left and shift the little beads to the front to make the eyes. I know I'm really far away to be showing you that, but that's how I do it. Anyway, so that's what's in my little bag of things. And I did double check because I was like, did I knit those reindeer ornaments last year, or was it the year before? Because I know I had said on the show that I knit them 2 years ago, and then I was second guessing myself, and I went to my projects page because coworkers did not deserve Christmas ornaments 2 years in a row. Sorry, no. Then they expect them. So if you do it less frequently, they're more apt to be appreciative, and you get different people, right? Yeah, because I have 3 coworkers that have never had anything hand knit by me before, so they will be super excited to get these. So anyways, Santas. And in addition to knitting Santas, my Travel on the Go project, do you see our orca? We don't call him a killer whale, we call him an orca in this house. I don't know why he's out or who was playing with him, but there he is for everyone to look at. Are my, what am I calling these? Too much yellow socks. So these have an unknown recipient still. I haven't figured out. So I decided to make the cuff the length that I would like them, which is about 5 inches. The last tall pair of cuffs I knit for my dad, he rolls them down like 3 times. They look very cute. To make them ankle socks, like a 1-inch high cuff. So either they were going to be 1-inch high cuff if they were for him, or I did, what is that, about 4 inches, just below the calf. So nice and stretchy bind off. I don't mean to brag here, but I always seem to have a stretchy bind off, and I just do a normal, knit 2 together, pass 1 over, knit 2 together. So these are toe up, Wendy Johnson slip stitch heel pattern, 64 stitches on US size 0s, 2mm needles, and the yarn is pretty beefy. I really like the way they turned out. Didn't feel like a sport weight when I was knitting them, but I feel like these have some tooth, some grit to these socks. They're definitely going to be hard wearing socks, which is what you would expect from online Super Sock. This is their 4 fash, which maybe that means 4 ply. I don't know. I thought it meant 4 color, which is what I would call this yarn, because it's like electric blue, neon yellow, hot pink, and fluorescent orange. So, but this is called Neon Color 2, and the color number, in case you too want to knit some neon socks, is 1728, and I got this at Webb's, which I'm sure they have more of because I can't imagine this is a real hot seller. So I've finished the first one, and I need to cast on another one. But for now, this is off my needles, and I have also been working on my Christmas sock, but not a lot of progress to show you. So 1 sock for now. And if I hold it this way, the light hits it better. How many years of podcasting, and sometimes I remember to do things like tip. And then lastly, we do have a colorwork knit along going on right now. And I have to tell you that I'm a little behind in my podcast, and I was seeing Megan Williams of Stacking It Zombies, her new mitten pattern, and it is color work. It's very pretty. It's a purple and yellow was what she knitted up in. I think it's called Banner Day, or maybe that was the name of her shawl. She's been a designing theme. Anyways, I want to knit a pair of those. So those may be coming after Christmas for me because they look lovely. But I did say that there would be a prize drawing. So going over to the Ravelry thread, I did this ahead of time. And we had posts 1 through 31. And everything's eligible. So chatter away. The more you chatter, the more prize drawings you could get in for. So this week's drawing is for this skein of opal in something to do with an orchid, I'm sure, because that's the picture of it, and that's pretty much the color. It is a self-striping 75-25. It's going to be beautiful. And the winner of this skein is Christina, another horn frog, post number 8. Christina, you have been with me for a long time, lady. And send me a PM, and I'll drop this in the mail to you. So, what I am working on for color work for this, you saw it last time, I made a lot of progress knitting over Thanksgiving break. Not so much in the last week, but I am still loving it. This is called the Save the Baby Whales. I'm using Cascade 220 in color 1910 and a white skein also. I don't know what that number is, but it's white. Maybe I do know. Is this 1910? No, that's not the right tag. Also, I have a Sunny Bar snack bar here. Earth's Best. Boys like to eat it. It's all organic. It's good snack food. 70 calories. So mommy eats them too sometimes on the ride home. But here is where I'm at. So you can see I've done the first wave chart. I've done the whales. I did alter the whales and added, because I made it a pullover instead of a cardigan, so I put in a wave here in the front, and then I put in, not waves, but like spurts, showers, fountain, maybe, on both sides as well. So the pattern just called for 2 whales in the front, 2 whales in the back, and I did a bit more than that. I am about halfway through the second wave pattern, and I love how it's going so far. So, showed you the buttons. I would say I'm like 3/4 of the way done on this. Once I get through the color work, which it's not complicated color work, but it does require some amount of brain power. Because I don't know about you, but when I do charted knitting or color work, I am constantly like 3-2, 3-2, 3-2 as I go across the row. That's just how my brain is running. So I can listen to an audiobook or something, but not real intense concentration. And I can't be watching TV. I could do a book. So I have been listening to The 9 Princes of Amber, which is a book that my dad recommended I read in college, and I'm just getting around to it now. I read like half of the first book. It's a 9-book series, and I really liked it. Like some of the it's a fantasy story, and some of the, what would you call it? The images conjured as they go along their journey have stayed with me for the last 10 years. Like, it really, really hit home with me. And so I was excited to go back and start listening to that again, and I'm enjoying it. I have a plethora, we'll leave it like that, of Audible credits that are going to expire in March, and so I was like, okay, what can I buy? And so I bought a couple of those, and what else did I buy? Oh, a couple more Stephen King, because you know I'm a junkie for Stephen King. I didn't know he wrote sequel, that the Mr. Mercedes book was part of a trilogy. Maybe you knew, I didn't know. And so I got the 2nd and 3rd book of that, because I'm sure I would love it. Linus, you gonna come say hi? My little buddy. Anyways, so I've been listening to audiobooks, and I can't knit this around the boys. I could do a stockinette sock, no problem. I can't do Santas around the boys either. But once I get past this last chart, which I think I have 3 or 4 more rows to go. Once I'm past that, then it's the ribbing, and then it's down the sleeves. I can't decide. I think it might be cute if I put a row of waves on each of the cuffs, reminiscent of the Anders pattern, but that's sort of what I'm thinking. Not called for in the pattern, but I love it. I like that they look like happy little whales. Happy little whales. So, and that is in my Fat Squirrel Speaks bag. This is my fall one, and fall really is over, although it hasn't snowed yet. Here we are in December and no snow. So, that's what I have to show you for knitting. It is late in coming, but definitely time for a 2015 mission update. One of the goals had been to knit 7 pairs of socks, so I took a pass on that. I do have pairs, or had been to knit 12 pairs of socks. I have pairs 8 and 9 on the needles, and I expect to finish one of them, if not both, before the end of the year, so I'll get to 9 pairs. Yeah, that's okay. I was shooting for 16, can you sit down? You want to sit with me? 16 to 22 barn raising quilt squares, and I have already knit 16 for the year, so I'm good there. With that, in case Christina is allergic to cats, it is not stored out where he could get it, or they could interact with it. Mr. Whippytail, El Senor Whippytail. I'm shooting for 2 sweaters for myself, and I did knit 3, so woohoo! And then the boys, I was shooting for a sweater for each. The Andrews are done, and a second one for Tristan is on the needles. Will definitely be finished before the end of the year. The hardest one for me has been to end with less, so I was trying to get to 15 things on the needles from 29. I am at 14. Woohoo! I keep going down. I finished off the 2 Anders sweaters and then didn't replace them, or I sort of replaced them with the Save the Baby Whales, but it's my active projects on the needles are down to 4, and then I have 10 hibernating whips, and one of those 10 is a pair of socks that could easily be worked on. And then in January I'm planning to do a sweater knit along, so put that in your head, knitting a sweater for yourself. We've done that a couple years now, and I really enjoy doing that. It's a good start to the year and to my winter wardrobe to knit a sweater in January. So that's coming, and I have at least 3 sweaters hibernating. So I'm gonna keep working those numbers down. In terms of the stash, yeah, I only added a 1/4 mile this month, even with all of the Knit Picks Santa yarn that I bought. I have been, you know, highly productive and not buying other things. But I'm still at 171 miles, and I started at 164. So not exactly as low as I would like it to be, but it is, I am, and continue to be a work in progress. So I think that's all we have to say this week. I think you got plenty of family footage and boy adventures last week, so I'm just going to leave it here. Short show, and I will catch you 10 days closer to Christmas. Hope you're enjoying all your Christmas knitting and not stressing out about it. And happy Hanukkah if you celebrate. Take care. All right.
Thank you, Will. I'm going to need the step ladder. Thank you for helping, Tristan.
Stop! This is fragile. This is fragile, Daddy. This could break. This is fragile.
Yes, well, be
This
careful.
could break.
Have you
You have to
a merry little Christmas?
be careful with this because it's brittle.
We'll be very careful. Merry Christmas.
There you go.
Because I don't think this reaches. Tristan.